Alrighty, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I'm back with another Starcraft 2 1 versus 1 bot AI cast. We have got ourselves what should be a good one here, as we've got MuleBot by Merkmore going to be taking on Roro. Roro, Terran bot that's has a variety of styles, and so I'm honestly not sure how it's going to play today against MuleBot, although MuleBot did have an interesting opening with a couple of SCVs dashing around, but it doesn't seem we'll be getting a proxy. As I say that, it is mining out the gold. That's what it's been up to. So I don't know if this is intended code from MuleBot or maybe something else going on. I assume this has to be intentional. As, let's see, yeah, last updated June 29th, which is literally today. So either that or that's just the tag for the date of the match, potentially. That would actually make more sense. But yeah, MuleBot mining out these gold minerals. The path is quite wide open, so I'm not sure what else it's waiting for now. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, click that like button if you guys haven't already. Leave a comment down below saying more bots if you want to see more of these bot matches. And then subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And we can see if MuleBot's got some plan to go through this path, or if it's just mining it out for the sake of it. The only two things that I can think of off the top of my head is that it's like the bot author maybe just programmed get rid of those mineral walls that are near your base right away as like a default thing to solve that sort of problem on this map. At the same time, MuleBot is a very difficult bot to sort of peg because it's got something like 70 strategies programmed into it. As yeah, it has some 100 openings. Contains timings, reactive, and eco. Will repeat effective openings per opponent. Thus is a good bot killer or bot trainer. And yeah, so who knows which strategy MuleBot is going to bring out today. For now, it does seem to be a quick third base. So being nice and greedy, which is something that I generally approve of when it comes to bot games, as bots are not as good at punishing greed as humans because it's very difficult to program that lethality. They aren't as good at punishing it with reactiveness, is the best way I'll say that. Bots tend not to scout and go, oh boy, man, my opponent's gone for a gateway nexus, I need to kill them, or a quick third base. No, if a bot's getting aggressive, it's because it's already programmed to do that for the most part. So we'll see whether Roro potentially falls behind, as MuleBot wants to have lots of mules and is already dropping those mules. So it may just have a big economic lead compared to its opponent. That being said, I do have pretty good belief in Roro if the game goes long, as it does seem to have pretty good unit management from what I've seen. But anyway, I should just stop trying to predict this one because I have no idea how it's going to go. All I know right now is we're seeing cyclones coming out of Roro. Meanwhile, MuleBot has got a bunker going up between its natural and its third base. It mined out this wall, but we don't really know why. And then there's a tank on the way. Now that tank could be very important for MuleBot because if Roro is going to be playing a heavier cyclone style potentially, tanks are one of the units that are quite good against cyclones because they can get a shot off before the cyclone locks on due to their immense range. We've also got MuleBot going for a Liberator. This is something I'm a very big fan of. Liberator harassment for bots I think is very strong because it's difficult to program a response to. And so I'd actually be quite excited if MuleBot goes for some harassment with this Liberator. And if I was to ever program a Terran bot myself, I think I'd probably throw in a little bit of Liberator harassment because I think there's definitely room to sort of get good success with them, because They can just position around turrets, that kind of thing, and they can kill the units that come to clean them up. More so than, say, Banshees or something like that. So, let's see, as we do have MuleBot scouting out all over the place, just trying to get that information. The Liberator is going out towards that upper right base of Roro, so it very well may get some good damage done. The Blue Terran does have its third command center on the way. However, MuleBot already has got its third up and mining, so it's built itself a nice 7-worker lead. It's got one tank randomly moving out. The tank will run right into the Cyclones, though, and get deleted. So while MuleBot has a good economy, it may be having a bit of a bad time. A Cyclone and a Marine does react to the Liberator. The Liberator sets up, though, and that Cyclone wants the Liberator, but the Liberator gets the Cyclone, so that's quite good. Now, Roro is coming forward. However, its Marines are actually not firing, so it almost seems the Marines are being microed with the Cyclones. There we go. They do fire a little bit. Liberator gets set up. Marines are working on it, and they may actually target it down. That's actually quite big, killing that Liberator off, as they have immense potential. Now, this one is set up over the racks, kills the Marine as it pops out. Unfortunately, it's not actually shooting at this mineral line. The third base of MuleBot is taking quite a bit of damage. A tank does get set up. Marines are moving forward. The tank doesn't quite target fire either, so it doesn't actually kill off those Marines. It softened up at first, and things are looking quite problematic. A Cyclone actually locks onto the Liberator, so MuleBot really is losing on pretty much every front here. Its army supply is not that high, although 2 Liberators did just come out, and they may be able to drive this army back. We'll see as Marines step forward. Unfortunately, the other Liberator isn't really helping out, as it kind of missed the mark with where it sieged up. Both of them are still alive, though. Cyclones are being a nuisance. Marines are trickling out for MuleBot to try and handle this. A Liberator getting set up. And programming Cyclone Micro is quite tricky, guys. They're a unit that an experienced human player can generally control pretty well, but it's still difficult. And then just to try and account for that in bot games with aggressive units or units that are retreating, it's not an easy thing, I imagine. However, these Cyclones are doing all right, as they do get some pickoffs. That third base of MuleBot was not killed super quickly, though, but there we do see Roro's like, do I poke in? There's a tank there, there's a Liberator, and that Cyclone does have a hard time and does go down. So MuleBot survives, taking immense SCV casualties. It kind of sandbagged there with 39 SCVs. It does have a 4th base up, though, so it is building 4 SCVs at a time. Its economy should be better. Liberators, pardon me, are moving on out here towards the base of Roro, so we'll see. Maybe double Liberator harassment can get some work done. They do come in here, and they just set up around this gas. We do not have advanced ballistics out of MuleBot yet. That could potentially be a good upgrade. The Liberator's just kind of forming a circle around themselves. Tank comes forward, gets deleted pretty much right away. Cyclone does get a lock on the Liberators, and they do get deleted. That Magfield Accelerator upgrade against armored Liberators is so darn good. A Marine gets deleted from existence, and another Liberator moving forward gets picked off. And then MuleBot mined out this location. Now those rocks have died. The pathing has completely changed here. Tank gets locked on, does go down. Man, these Cyclones kill things so darn quickly. Looks like Roro is sending back the injured Cyclone. However, there's still 2 on the front. And MuleBot is just trying to produce lots of stuff. I mean, it's building Ghosts, Vikings, tanks, a Banshee on the way, researching double cloak, which is interesting. I'm of the opinion that if Terran was ever to get another buff, there should only be 1 cloak upgrade. You research cloak for Banshees, you get it on the Ghosts, or vice versa. I think that would be a nice thing for Terran, not to have to research the same tech twice. Anyway, Cyclones for Roro are coming in, locking on, killing off even more SCVs. Poor MuleBot cannot keep its workers alive this game. A Cyclone gets close to the tank, but I'm not sure there's vision there, so the tank is getting some nice shots off. As this 3rd base, 4th base, is just being absolutely ransacked. As Roro prioritizes killing the workers over killing the buildings, the tank inches forward, does get locked on, and look how quick it dies. The tank does go down. A Ghost wandered out and died, as personal cloaking was not yet done. We do have a random tank drop from MuleBot moving out, though. So who knows, maybe that will divide the attention of Roro, and that's something that definitely needs to happen here, seeing as how Roro is just locking on with its cyclones, killing off all the workers here, not killing the buildings. It really prioritizes units, which is interesting. I mean, MuleBot has got Marines running around randomly. There is 2 more tanks out. They are getting some nice shots from the high ground, picking off some of these cyclones. Roro's economy is quite good, though, with a 4th gold base getting established. It will be able to really pump these out. Tanks do keep shooting away. I'm not sure what happened to that one medevac. Looks like Roro elected to lift its command center due to the presence of that one Marine. That other medevac with the tank must have perished. Tanks do keep shooting away, as MuleBot really is prioritizing building those, and enough tanks, and it may be able to stabilize. The Red Terran has got a long way to go in this game, though, and its mules are very, well, what's keeping it alive in this game economically, as it is down to 34 workers against 77, and do not attack MuleBot. Do not do it. Stay home, as it loses yet another unit. Cyclones locking on, going to kill off this tank. Turret doesn't stand a chance. The Cyclones just delete these armored units so quickly. This tank on the high ground is doing quite well. Marines are buffering a little bit, but the Cyclones do eventually get a lock on, and the tank goes down. So MuleBot just is having a tough time here. Roro's defensive code with lifting its command centers does overreact from time to time, as it's just knocked itself down to 2 bases by lifting up its SCVs. Cyclones do come forward to this location, Raven even using an auto turret. MuleBot has got a tank coming forward. It does actually get set up in quite a nice position. So Roro's production is being heavily limited by its gas income, as it hasn't resaturated those refineries, which is actually quite problematic. It's got only 4 refineries mining of gas, so hopefully we do see more SCVs get put in there. There's a lot that are occupied. There's also a lot of Cyclones back home that are not doing anything for Roro. It's going to have to decide to attack at some point soon again. There we go. The gases do get saturated, so while there's some hiccups, Roro does eventually figure it out. More Cyclones are moving out. MuleBot is too aggressive for its own good, moving forward with single siege tanks, and the Cyclones just kill everything that MuleBot is feeding towards its opponent. This Liberator is set up in a very interesting position. There's also a tank at the back. Might get a few shots off, maybe, as the tank lines are pretty deep, but I mean, it's just not looking too hot here for MuleBot. 68 supply against 153. Roro isn't the most efficient killer, as it's definitely had a lead this game, but has not finished it because it seems to not want to attack or not be programmed to attack buildings with these Cyclones, so it's kind of just killing the units of MuleBot, whereas I'm pretty sure it could have killed that command center at some point. But yeah, it just seems to want to lock onto units. I'm guessing that programming is kind of taking priority or something, instead of killing buildings that are near it like you would with an auto attack. Cyclones, though, now gutting the natural of MuleBot. MuleBot has another tank popping out. It's getting way too far forward, though, and it will perish. I do believe we've probably got a victor for this one, ladies and gentlemen, as the Cyclones really are just gutting everything. MuleBot's been given way more rope than you'd think it should really get, but yeah, Roro just killing off all the units. Eventually MuleBot may run out of SCVs. The Cyclones, yeah, they're literally not programmed to attack buildings right now. So who knows, maybe MuleBot will never actually die if it doesn't actually lose its units. These bot games are so wacky. You really never know what you're going to get when you click on these games. MuleBot, its only money is from the mules that it keeps dropping at this base. Roro just pooling up more units at home, I imagine, waiting for another attack, never attacking this command center. So that is such interesting programming. It's just a ghost town in MuleBot's base. This command center lifts off. SCVs running for their lives, but there's no production, so we are going to fast forward this one. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this bit of a wackier game, eventually Roro does start cleaning out buildings. It just takes it a while, and there has to be absolutely no other units around, I'm guessing. Like, I bet if Roro sees like an SCV or a unit pop out, it immediately targets that. Yeah, Liberator pops out. Yeah, the Cyclones want that SCV. They do get it. MuleBot has got a gold. It's muling the gold, which doesn't get it any more money. It's building lots and lots of SCVs. So Roro does need to kill off MuleBot maybe a little quicker than it is. At the Ghost Academy going down, a new factory's being built. Who knows, maybe if MuleBot did actually use that personal cloaking, these Cyclones, they just can't figure out how to attack. So whatever threshold Roro needs for an attack has not been met. So these guys just have the very slow cleanup job. But I think they're going to do it eventually. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this was a bit of a wackier bot game, but if you do enjoy seeing a variety of them on the channel, let me know. If you never want to see a game like this again, also let me know. But I think it is cool to see the wide variety. Click that like button, subscribe if you haven't. Good redundancy by MuleBot. It kept trying to rebuild, just Roro never actually let it get away with that, which is good. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much for tuning on in.